So either you like healing and supporting in video games, or maybe this is your first time delving into it. Either way, something about Lost Ark's support classes caught your interest. And I don't blame you. Coming from the standpoint of someone who locks in that healing role in any game that lets me, Lost Ark did an absolutely fantastic job on its support classes, making them both unique and exciting to play, especially considering how much they stand out from traditional MMORPG healers. Because, if you haven't noticed yet, I'm calling this a support role and not a healing role, since even though both support classes do heal, and quite a bit actually at endgame, their primary role is to support their team with utility buffs and damage mitigation, such as with bubbles, damage buffs, damage reduction buffs, attack speed buffs, staggers/impairments, and of course heals. Both of the current support roles in Lost Ark, which are the Bard and the Paladin, also known as the Holy Knight, can give these utilities to their groups in different ways. There also isn't the traditional Trinity system with tank, healer, and DPS in this game. However, having a support does make combat much less stressful. I'm going to have some videos up soon with in-depth information on both classes, but for now, I'm going to give you a general overview of each of them so that you can start considering which classes will be the best match for your own preferred playstyle. I'm also going to be streaming Lost Ark on Twitch for the US release, so follow me there for more fun support content. Links in the description. First, I will go over the Bard, who plays music on her harp to damage enemies and support allies. Bard has a long to mid-range playstyle and is extraordinarily great at shielding allies. She has a very low cooldown shielding skill that has a small AoE radius, which is extremely useful. In my opinion, it's a bit hard to efficiently use this in unorganized groups as people spread out often, but it only gets better as you advance through the game. She also has a large AoE buffing skill that provides both a damage buff and an attack speed buff to allies, and various ways to offer damage mitigation to allies through different skills. Bard does not actually have any skills that you can equip on your main bar to provide healing. However, her identity skill, which is the serenade meter in the middle of the screen, allows Bard players to either heal or provide a damage buff, depending on which option they choose. You fill this meter by simply using your skills, and some skills can be spec'd to help fill up the meter faster. For each meter you save up, the stronger the heal or damage buff you provide will be. Bard also has a longer cooldown awakening skill that you will eventually unlock, which is a massive AoE damage skill that provides a large shield, which is worth 100% of the user's max HP. This shield is amazing, and you'll be able to spec your character to get this longer cooldown skill off as often as possible. One of the downsides of Bard is that they offer very little DPS compared to other classes, which can make solo leveling content take a little bit longer. Also, if you like this video so far, consider hitting that like and subscribe button for more Lost Ark content. Next, I'm going to move on to Paladin, or Holy Knight, which offers a similar utility to Bard, but with a different playstyle. Paladin is a close to medium range class that also offers many varying damage mitigation and buffing support skills. Unlike Bard, Paladin has a single group shielding skill with a much larger AoE radius than Bard's, meaning it's a bit easier to get everyone inside it, which also heals allies for a small amount. Paladins need to be a bit more mindful with this shielding skill since it does have a longer cooldown, but using it feels very satisfying due to the healing and longer shield that it provides. As someone who often plays ranged classes, I was a bit skeptical if I would enjoy the melee combat and utility of this class. However, many of their skills, including most of their buffs, are large AoE skills that do a good amount of damage at mid-range and don't require you to constantly tickle the boss's toes. Paladin's identity skill, which is a single bar that you fill up through using your skills, can either provide a large AoE attack buff for a set duration, or a personal buff to power up the Paladin's blue damage skills. Unlike the Bard's healing identity skill, which places a single totem on the ground, requiring party members to stay within the AoE radius of it to receive healing benefits, the Paladin's identity skill is attached to your character and allows you to move around while it's active and keep your party within the large radius even if a boss decides to move positions quickly, allowing Paladins to use their identity skill without much worry. By upgrading the AoE attack buff through engravings, Paladin players will be able to heal allies with this identity skill every few seconds of its duration, which makes it feel extremely strong and also gives Paladins access to 2 different healing skills. Like Bard, Paladin also has a very large AoE awakening skill that slams into the ground and provides a massive shield. From what I've played so far, Bard has amazing shielding abilities, which lets her mitigate damage. Very good healing from her identity skill. Very good buffing/debuffing and utility, and good range to stay out of melee attacks from bosses. However, she is a bit squishy and lacks high DPS. While Paladin has amazing healing from their 2 different healing sources, very good shielding, very good buffing/debuffing and utility, moderate range to avoid melee attacks from bosses, and great survivability with a moderate DPS output. One last thing to note is that these classes are both gender locked. So if the gender of the character you play does matter to you, I would take that into consideration as this game has some pretty awesome outfits. Personally, I really love both support classes so much that it's hard for me to decide between them. Let me know in the comments which one looks the most fun to you so far. I'll catch you guys next time.